I was actually from 3-tier college and I didn't have privilege to get the campus placement. Before 2016, I was not aware there is a field called data science. Person can target between 15 to 40 LPA in good tech firms, Fortune 500s. I myself has enrolled into 45 different Coursera programs. I never completed it. I couldn't clear those rounds. But parallelly, I also got 6 different offers. I was chasing a lot of hiring managers after my graduation. But as a perk, they are providing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you drink like the alcohol part?
To audience also, like they will also understand like why DSA.
Hey everyone, welcome back to eLearning Village. I hope you guys are doing good and staying safe. So I am back with another amazing podcast for all the aspiring data professionals and my lovely data community. So a few weeks back, I traveled to Bangalore for a tech meetup, and there I got a chance to meet a very talented data scientist. And since it was a great opportunity, so I thought let's record a podcast with him as well. And honestly speaking, his background and journey in data science is also very amazing. Like graduated from a non-CS stream, and he was not having any fancy college tag with him. He actually continued his hustle for the data field and cracked few off-campus data analyst intern position, and slowly gradually moved on to the ladder of data science. And talking about our guest, so currently working as a data scientist in a beer company. He will share all his experience about cracking data analyst intern position off campus, then moving into the data science, all technical skills in depth, the salary part, and what all things will be required in the interviews round by round. Everything, so many information to talk about. And apart from that, I will be asking few interesting questions regarding his current company, the culture, the perks, and all sweet things. So make sure to watch it till the very end, and after that, if you find it informative, then hit the like button as well.
Thank you so much, Harsh, for joining me on this podcast, and very much excited to talk about the data science part. And I think the audience who's watching you for the very first time, it would be really great if you can introduce yourself and anything about your academic background and past professional background.
All right, son. Thank you so much for having me here. It's a great platform. I can reach wider audience, and everybody can somewhat benefit from me. So let me talk about myself. I'm Harsh. I'm coming from Ahmedabad, Gujarat, and basically I have a bachelor's degree in electronics and communication.
Okay.
Then I had some 2 years of experience in internships, and then I decided to pursue master's degree. And currently I'm having 4 years of data science experience. I'm currently working at AB InBev. It's basically a beer beverage company.
Wow, cool. Amazing. So looks like coming from the non-CS background, right, and now into the data science. After your college part, how did your journey start in the data science world? And most important part is, what actually made you to think about the data science as a career profession?
I can go back before my bachelor's degree. So since my childhood, I wanted to become a pilot. So I decided to choose electronics and communication due to diversity of opportunity it provides. I was actually from 3-tier college, and I didn't have privilege to get the campus placement, but I applied separately and I got good opportunities. I started with embedded systems, but I didn't like it much. At the time, my friends were going to US, Canada, UK for their post-graduation studies. So I also decided to choose that path. I appeared in 𝗖cie as, even though I was not sure which field I want to target next.
Okay.
So I appeared in 𝗖cie. I got good score. I realized one thing, when I was appearing in 𝗖cie, I really liked statistics part of it, and that's where I thought, why not pursue this field? So I decided to look into this statistics domain deeper, and I found that there is a field called data science. Unfortunately, before 2016, I was not aware there is a field called data science. Based on that, I applied to various universities, and due to my score was good, I got really decent admits in foreign universities.
Okay.
But deep inside me, I was not again sure whether I'm going for a field which is high on demand right now. It's growing. I will be having good career, but whether I will like this field or not, I was not sure. So I decided to take a pause. I deferred my admits to next year, and I decided to go for some internships.
Okay.
So I applied to different places in my hometown. I got good opportunities with different companies, not basically Fortune 500, but local companies, smaller companies, smaller Indian companies. I joined there as a data analyst intern, and I started working there. I worked for 2-3 months at different places, different roles, and that's how I explored the field.
Okay.
And once I became sure the dream to go to foreign university was gone, I joined one MTech program at Ahmedabad University.
Okay.
It's a 𝗖cie program with a specialization in data science and analytics. And after first year of my program, I got opportunity with ABB. I started working as a data science intern.
Okay.
I worked there for a year in computer vision domain. And after my internship, I got an offer from the same company and worked there for 2 more years. Currently, I got offer from AB InBev, and since last 6-7 months, I'm working here.
Superb. I would say like lots of decision making and thought process like behind your career, like the way you started. So I'll reiterate on one important question. You talked about the off-campus opportunities which you got, right? And
Yeah.
especially the data analyst intern. So did you really get it by your own? Because I have got so many queries from the freshers that sir, companies are not preferring us for the big data roles. They want highly experienced candidates. So
Yeah.
how did it happen for you?
I would say it was not very difficult thing for me. I was chasing lot of human resources people. I was
Okay.
chasing lot of hiring managers after my graduation. After I was looking opportunity into data analytics, data science domain. So fortunately, at that time, many people were exploring this domain, and that's how they were very enthusiastic to hire people who are looking to make career in data analytics. They were also experimenting in their companies. They were also experimenting with various resources and various skill sets. So that's where it best fitted my ambition and the further thing I wanted to do. So that's how I got different opportunities. So I portrayed myself in front of a people that I want to learn. I know really nothing about this field, but I'm really enthusiastic and I have learned few things in this domain which can help me to go further in this domain. I can help you with your reporting. I can help you with various dashboarding. I can help you with ad hoc analysis.
Okay.
So that those kind of stuff I was doing in those companies. So I joined one media company, I joined one finance based company, I joined a e-commerce startup. So everywhere my
everything
role
was
different.
happening like you chased so many people. That happened with LinkedIn, right? Or any other?
Basically these 3 to 4 different internships which I got, it was through networking in my own city, but I was also
in-person networking.
Yes, I was
Okay.
also exploring LinkedIn connections.
Okay.
So one opportunity I got from LinkedIn, 3 different opportunities I got on my own, but definitely I was going for different meetups, different community gatherings. That's how I got connections. That's how I got those opportunities.
No, I think this is the best idea. Whosoever is watching this podcast, like how to chase the people, and it is all about your enthusiasm, right? How curious you are about your future. He got the internship for the data profiles, then you guys can also get it. I think there is no excuse as of now. Stepping into the industry is the first priority, and then like you can
Yes.
get anything whenever you have some experience and these kind of skill
Exactly,
sets.
exactly.
This question is currently related to your designation, which is like data scientist in AB InBev. So how this transition actually happened? Your previous company was ABB, and I think the most interesting point to know, why didn't you try for big tech firms? Because after getting 1, 2, 3 years of experience, our priority is okay, let's try for big tech firms, So why didn't it happen with you?
All right. So very nice question. After 3 years of my stay at ABB, I was looking for different opportunities. I applied to big tech firms and got calls from few. I got call from LinkedIn. I got call from Shell. Those are companies I really wanted to be in. I got call, but unfortunately, I couldn't clear those rounds. But fortunately, when AB InBev came, I clear those rounds, and I got selected as an employee. Parallelly, I also got six different offers.
Wow.
And those offer 3 to 4 offers from Fortune 500s and 2-3 from different startups. So one in Gurgaon and 2 in Bangalore.
Okay.
So why I choose AB InBev? Because my career ambition, my goals, my principles are closely matching with the people there. They are dreaming big. Like, we have a culture of dreaming big, and I also possess big dreams. And I really liked the environment. I interacted with different people, and the role was kind of a bit of technical, bit of business, and bit of consulting. So
Okay.
I really like this thing. I really wanted to grow into this particular aspect of it. That's why I chose AB InBev.
And this is mind blowing. Like, somebody had 6 offers, including big tech firms, startups, but still, like, you were very much focused on your aspiration part, what you actually like.
Yeah.
So I think the same question I would ask to the audience as well. Like, say, given a choice, what would you choose, the big tech firms or the big brands or the actual learnings? So whatever is your opinion, feel free to put it in the comment section. And I have one curious question. So AB InBev basically creates the drinks and beers. So now you are an employee. So as a perk, do they provide like lots of beers and drinks to the employees as well?
Yeah, they do provide, and they encourage to test out that products.
Okay.
So what we are selling, we have to understand it. So it's not a compulsion, but as a perk, they are providing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you drink like the alcohol part?
I am coming from basically dry state,
Okay.
but occasionally, maybe sometimes I like to try it.
But I think this is really good. I mean, companies should start this culture, right? Let's say, if you are building something, any product, you should give it to their employees to test it out, right? I think this is the best perk you are getting.
Exactly.
Harsh, as you mentioned, right, you got rejected by a few companies, right? And the reason was basically the programming aspect of it. So based on your experiences, the interview experiences, do you really think like all big companies actually focus on the DSA part, and especially for the data science role, because you got rejected for the same reasons by big companies? And if it is there, like if companies are asking, so do you think this is the right criteria for the data scientist to be judged on the DSA part?
Extremely interesting question for me. To audience also, like they will also understand like why DSA and all these things are coming into picture for data scientist role as well.
Yeah.
So traditionally, our interviews are structured in a way like for typical software engineer role, what you will test in employee DSA skills, your system design skills, low level design, high level design, all those stuff. So those are very structured things. In data science role, it is quite like the role is very diverse, and you really don't get opportunity to judge a person how he will perform in a job. So data structures and algorithm is a short way that how a person is thinking, how structurally he is thinking, how logically he is thinking, you are able to judge it.
Okay.
So even for me, I was in a dilemma that why this company takes DSA rounds.
Right.
But when I started working at ABB, I realized that if I know DSA, the intricacies of DSA, it really helps in your job. You write very object-oriented code, and you can reuse it whenever you want. The number of hours you are putting into your work will be drastically reduced if you are writing efficient code. So these things are very much important, even for a data scientist.
Okay.
Why I failed in those companies, because so basically I am an electronics and communication engineer. I learned Python, SQL, R, all these languages introductory level on my own through various diverse resources. When I learned this, I never learned through basic principles.
Okay.
So in my graduation, I had a C++ course in my first year of engineering. But after that, I never learned coding. So those principles, those very basic things about data structures and algorithm, like list, linked list, trees, hash maps, I was not very much proficient.
Okay.
And even in SQL, at ABB, I use SQL, but not up to the level where companies ask you questions in the interview. So when I appeared for different interviews, I got rejected from few. I also cleared few rounds. I also cleared few companies in the DSA rounds.
Okay.
But I realized that DSA, I have to learn.
Follow-up question, how did you improve it? Because folks would be interested, okay, this guy is a data scientist, he's saying DSA is important, and he also failed in the interviews because of DSA. So how did you improve it?
I tried lot many resources. So I done some certifications where companies will give you certifications from big institutions. So I also went through that. But currently what I am doing and thing I followed is I joined one masterclass from SCALER.
Okay.
It was on LinkedIn algorithm. And I really like that, how a person is doing coding side by side, how is solving a real life business case question. So I explored a SCALER curriculum and I found that they are providing DSA. Even if you are becoming a student of data science and machine learning. So I really like this. And I decided to pursue a program in SCALER, and that's how I started learning DSA from the very basic principles.
Okay. Like that one masterclass actually changed that whole direction for you. If you are also interested to like be a part of these amazing free masterclasses, so link will be in the description. Do check it out. So now you mentioned that SCALER's DSML program. So my question would be, obviously there are lots of programs. So what was your preference? Like, why do you think that it was different from others, and why did you actually choose it?
I tried out many programs before SCALER. I also have certifications from 2-3 different programs, well-known programs in India. Why I choose SCALER is due to multiple reasons. So I am sure about their software engineering track. My own friends were part of it and they are getting a lot of benefits out of it.
Okay.
So when they launched data science program, I was very curious that these people are launching this program and it will be definitely good. After joining program, what I realize is not only the curriculum which I'm learning here, the DSA, the theoretical part, the business case studies, but apart from this, I'm getting a mentor. I will interact with mentor every 2 weeks. So that's great perks to have. And another thing, they have a community of 25,000 people.
Wow.
So it's really motivated me to join the community because I really like interacting.
The knowledge exchange.
Exactly. I really like interacting with different people in my own domain. I also like diversity in different domains as well, like blockchain, software engineering, front end, back end, how everybody is doing, what technologies they use. So if I am guiding everything at one particular place and with the very structured curriculum, then why not join that program?
So looks like more community-based learnings, practical learnings, and plus the mentorship part, which you said, right?
Yeah.
This is, I think, very much important. And the best part is these mentors are actually the employees who are working in the companies. They are working and the same practical experience they are sharing with the students. So this is also the best part. So in this DSML program, right, you talked about that community-based learning, the practical learnings, right? And what we eventually can say in the data world, the case study based learnings. Like, do you think is it easy for like all the folks to understand these case studies and to work on it practically, or do you think some tech related background is needed?
Definitely tech related background helps because one can do coding much easily. But even for non-tech people, they can definitely learn DSA, coding, all those things. It doesn't require much time and efforts to start with. To answer your second question, are they getting benefits from these masterclasses, from these case studies or not? So these are very practical based case studies. So one thing I can explain with my own experience. So I was traveling from Bangalore to Ahmedabad, and I reached on time. But even though I reached on time, the counter was closed. I was not sure at that time why it is closed. So when I joined a master class on like how these airline companies are doing overbooking, at how much proportion, at how much percentage they are doing. So there are some backend algorithms are in work.
Correct.
They do all these things using data, using statistics, probability, everything. So it was really interesting. So it's not very technical always, but it's it's a basic real life problems they are giving as a case studies.
Like understanding the business and the whole depth of it.
I'm close follower of Kunal Sa. So he always mentioned about Delta 4. So Delta 4 is the thing where you experience a thing which you never experienced in the past. So it can be either energy saving, time saving, or a lifestyle changing event, or any product. So if we take an example of Uber, if I tell you how much score you will give to your current booking experience, it could be either 7 or 8. And when you compare this when your past booking experience with Uber or Ola or any cabs, it will be close to 3 to 4. It always evolves. It always becomes more efficient. And how it is becoming more efficient is only through data. So it's the people who are working in the back end, tweaking algorithms, optimizing on things. And these things are very much possible through data science and analytics.
This DSML part which you talked about, the scalar thing, right? I think this is something which is helping a lot of students. So if you also want to check it out and you also want to move into the DSML part, so find the link in the description and check out the curriculum. And if you find it interesting, then definitely enroll in it. You have a very, very wide knowledge of the different tech stacks, at least in the data science part, and you also worked as a data analyst. And since there is lots of confusion in the market whenever somebody starts with the data science, data analyst, so knowing about the skill sets, right? So if I ask you that what are the best skills, right, there will be like few top skills, right, which you would recommend to anyone to start with the data science. If there is something, then what would be those skill set?
Skill set wise, there are two parts of it. One is very structured, where you will learn mathematics. In mathematics, linear algebra, calculus, differential equations, statistics and probability, these things. And in programming languages, you can either choose between Python and R. But Python is easy to learn and widely adopted. It is versatile language. So Python, and SQL is must for every data scientist or analyst.
Okay.
Apart from this, this is a very structured thing. This is about tool set and every core mathematical part of it. Then you need to learn machine learning concepts, several deep learning concepts. So if I tell you in Python, you need to learn DSA at very basic level. First, you can start with what is time and space complexities, variable, list, tuples, arrays. Then you can move to linked list, trees, hash maps. If you cover these things, your 50% DSA is covered.
Okay.
In mathematics, if you cover this basics of descriptive and inferential statistics, then you go into deeper into probability side of mathematics.
Okay.
And the basic linear algebra and calculus, and somewhat like medium to advanced differential equations. If you understand these things, your mathematics is clear.
Okay.
Now, if we talk about machine learning, if you know regression, logistics and linear regression, in a much deeper way, much deeper manner, all the intricacies of it, I would say your 50% of ML is done. There are a lot many algorithms. There are a lot many things to learn in machine learning, deep learning. But if your base of these things are regression, simple principal component analysis, these kind of things are clear, then you can learn anything.
Okay.
So these are the skill sets, structured skill sets. Now, if we move into unstructured skill set, communication is the key, because you will tell insights to your clients, to your stakeholders, to your leaders.
Yeah.
So communication. Another thing is your people skill.
Okay.
So when you are becoming a data scientist, business analyst, or data analyst, or even engineer, you got to interact with lot many different teams.
Exactly.
So you have to have a collaboration capacities, team player capacities. So these things are very much important. One last thing I would like to include here is storytelling skills. So how you make your story. So story, the real story, how you start things, how you portray things which are complex in nature, but how you are explaining these things to an audience which is not very much efficient in understanding the very core things of data science, core things of statistics. They are the person who are taking business decisions, but they are good with their own skills. They are not always good with this mathematical or analyzing or visualization skills. So when you portray things, those things should be clearly coming from your end, and it is going clearly to their minds, so they can implement, they can take actionable insights, they can use those insights to make a proper implementation in the business, in the organization. So organization can benefit, people can benefit.
No, I think these are some of the really important point which you have mentioned, the structured skill set, unstructured, and the storytelling part. So I think everyone who is watching this part, right, make sure take a note of it so that you can start your learnings in the same sequence. Just a small follow-up question. I don't want very subjective answer for that. Like, is master's degree very much required, or a PhD degree, or somebody has to be a pro mathematician to move into data science? Very short answer from your side, your experience.
Okay, two things. If you don't have a degree, that's fine. But you need something to have recognition. How people will judge you.
Okay.
So based on your degrees, if you never worked, then it's the only key criteria. It's apart from your portfolio of projects, apart from the skill set you're having, your degrees are also important.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely those PhD or masters.
But not a mandatory thing.
Not mandatory, but I can see it really create difference.
It adds value
once
somehow.
you go further in your career down the line, 5 to 6 years.
Like the research part or the applied scientist sort of roles.
Yes.
Based on your experiences, at least for 2-3 years of experienced candidate, for the data science profiles, what amount of salary or what CTC they can expect from the good companies, right? It can be anything. Good means the big tech firms or any good service-based company or startup or in consulting firm. So what would be that number?
It really ranges from company to company. It really ranges from what department you are applying, what role you are applying. But if I talk about data science position, then it ranges between 15 to 40 LPA for 2-3 years of experienced people.
Okay.
And it goes up to, like, there is no upper limit. I have seen salaries going up to like 1 CR, 1 plus CR, based on your experience, the skill set you are bringing, the amount of business you are bringing to the organization, the impact you are creating, how much your department is performing, how much your contribution to it. There are a lot of things to be see here, but if we talk about 2-3 years of experience, a person can target between 15 to 40 LPA in good tech firms, Fortune 500s, and even in good startups.
And that 1 CR part, right, which you mentioned, like how is it achievable? I mean, a person having close to 5-6 years of experience can achieve this number?
Once you become very specialized in one particular thing, and you are filling a key position where your competition is zero.
Okay.
So company have to pay you.
Correct.
And they are also getting benefit out of you. So if a company is making 20x than your
from
salary,
your effort,
then who will not hire you?
Correct. That means you need to prove yourself. You need to prove your worth as well. And you need to know the current market as well, right? What companies are paying and target companies in such a way, right? So I think that is number is achievable. I just want to ask, what is the proven path to become the data scientist? Is it like first start with the data analyst role and then slowly gradually gain some experience and then move on to the data science ladder, or even folks can directly start with the data science profile without any hurdles?
This would be very subjective. But if I tell, then moving from data analyst to data scientist is easy, because you have worked in that domain where you closely worked with data sets. You closely queried the data sets. You got the data out from the databases. Then you applied ad hoc analysis. You applied some visualizations, dashboarding, those things. So you are able to understand data well enough. If you're directly moving into data science, that's completely fine. If you are having good data structures and algorithm skills, good understanding on deep learning, machine learning, various techniques on data science, and some domain knowledge of some particular subject like finance, market, anything. So you can target data science as well. That's but that would be not very difficult, but somewhat complex than the data analyst to data scientist path.
Yeah, because on the data analyst part, right, the data science complexities won't be there, but you will at least deep dive into the data world and then moving on to the next ladder of it after 1-2 years.
It is what business you are into. So roles could be either of data analyst who is working on a manager's requirement, ad hoc requirements, a data analyst who is working on very structured approach, like if we talk about traditional MIS person who used to do dashboarding visualizations for the company, now it is replaced with data analyst. There are another roles like big data engineer, the person who is only who will only work in the big data, Spark, Hadoop, etc.
Right.
In data science, machine learning engineer. So if you are good with MLOps and ML algorithms and data analyst part, so you can become ML engineer. In data science, there are another roles like risk analyst. So if you are good with mathematical modeling, statistical modeling, then risk analyst could be a good job. Finance analyst. There is another thing which I am currently into is marketing analytics. So you are measuring the impact of marketing campaigns, those kind of things. So there are multiple things in the industry, and each role varies a lot. So once you are placed into some particular role, then you also need to understand about the domain.
Cool, totally understood. And the beautiful point was knowing more about the domain and the job profiles. And now I would be very much interested to know my audience that which job profile or which category you guys belong. So if you're watching the podcast, make sure to put a comment mentioning your profile so we can segregate. Lots of folks start with the data science maybe because of the recommendation or because of the hype. So based on your experiences, what is the peak point or what is that crucial point where most of the aspiring data scientists quit their journey, right? Or they think, okay, data science is not my cup of tea, I'll move into something else.
I never see it coming, Shashank. I am answering this question for the first time, but I will try my best. So if a person is learner who is just like applying to different companies, there could be a position where he might not be able to understand about the mathematical complexity of different algorithms, but you keep on trying. Everybody learns eventually.
Right.
The second thing, a person who is already working in an environment as a data scientist, but the complex things comes into picture here is where he is not very clear about the role. People fail where they are not able to understand what problem statement they are working for, what things they are working for. So it is very crucial for them to understand the requirement from the hiring manager, from the people who took their interview. So if they are able to understand it well enough, if I am a person, then if I think I am fitting here, then he won't fail. Understanding the domain, understanding the work you are going to do is very important.
If you are not enjoying something and if you are not liking what you are doing, that will create a self-doubt on you, that probably I'm not able to perform or something.
Yes, and definitely if you are having challenges for the skills, that those are very easy to clear.
Right.
If you are enthusiastic about like learning new things. So if you become a data scientist, you need to be a constant learner. Every day you will have different set of challenges, and you have to learn, you have to read, you have to interact, you have to understand different things according to your role and outside your role as well. So who knows what next problem is coming for.
Cool. And these are the very, very valid points, and I think everybody should consider it. Make sure you utilize that interview process, right, as a source of truth. Ask as many as questions you can ask from the hiring managers and the interviewers who are asking the questions, so you'll get the exact idea about the team and the project you'll be working on. Is data science overhyped? Folks have created extra hype for it, like folks are getting this much of package, or they are the most valued person in terms of the CTC work and everything. What's your take on that? Is it really overhyped or not?
I would say it is relatively new. Currently salaries are higher, and I'm even expecting those are going up and up, at least for few years. Hype is there, the demand is there.
Right.
So we are short on supply currently, but yeah, it is going to be settled in next few years. But if you are into the data science domain, your work will different going down the 4 to 5 years. You'll be very much specialized in one particular domain. And the good part here is in data science, if you are getting specialized into one particular domain, you can easily transfer your knowledge. If you are aiming another industry, so I myself coming from a manufacturing industry. ABB is basically an electrification company, and I worked there when I was intern in manufacturing area, robotics domain. Then when I got placed, I was working for finance department.
Okay.
So I was solving different problems on finance. Currently I'm into marketing. So it's a beauty of it.
The domain exposure part.
Exactly.
If you are enjoying data science, then move into it. Just don't run behind it because somebody else is saying that. Else you will regret after some time that why did you even choose this profile.
Yes, definitely. Understanding your own interest is very much important. Whatever you are into, if whether you are into software engineer, whether you are into some non-tech role, it's completely fine. But yeah, there is some salary disparities nowadays. But if you are specialized into one domain, no one can stop you.
Yeah. So Harsh, I have just one last question for our podcast, and that would be the end as well. So the question is how to kickstart our journey in the data science role, and the main important point to know is that finding the right resources. After finding the resources, we can easily kickstart our career. And why I'm asking this question? Because the right resources is something which is very hard to find over the internet. So what's your take on that?
Definitely. Right resources are like readily available, I would say. It's an ocean of information available. That is where lot of confusion is there. Lot of people are failing because they are not able to follow very structured path. So joining a program like SCALER or any good program would be definitely helpful because what it provides is a structured approach.
Right.
You got to understand like which things you need to understand first. What are the first basic principles you need to learn to go advanced level. Then how you apply those skills is also very much necessary. You implement some algorithm, but how it is actually impacting business.
Right.
It is extremely essential to understand. So following a structured path is extremely important, I would say. And people should not go every places. Because I myself has enrolled into 45 different Coursera programs. I never completed it. So it happens.
Right.
Because you are having a lot of information and you cannot digest it very clearly. So yeah, structured approach is very much essential. You can start with coding, then mathematics, then ML, then DL, then data engineering stuff, then business case studies.
Right.
And then you can prepare for your interviews using advanced DSA and different real life case studies where you can present all these things to your hiring manager, like what work you have done. Another important thing is to position yourself. To become more confident, you have to work. So if you have portfolio of projects, if you have worked a lot in those projects, you can easily position yourself in the interview and you can portray confidence so that a person can be confident on you that this person will be a best suit for this position and he will be able to learn things if required.
Right.
So people should not underestimate themselves. Everybody can learn, everybody can have this capacity which God has given to all of us. Everybody can utilize those things. Never underestimate and keep on learning.
I think that's what we had to talk about, and I'm pretty sure this was the most insightful conversation I had so far related to the data science, and especially like who is coming from that that kind of background, non-CS, and then tried multiple things. You did your core job as well, right, related to your stream, then data analyst, then data science. So there are lots of things to learn from his journey as well, and I hope you guys would have taken a note of it. So anything further, if you want to know more about the Scaler programs and the data science ML programs, so you can directly contact to Harsh. The form will be attached in the description, and you can find other links as well, the masterclass and the programs, and you can check it out. And keep joining these masterclass, at least the free masterclass, which are really important from the practical case study perspective. And from my side and from the entire audience side, thank you so much, Harsh, for joining us and sharing this wonderful experience.
My pleasure, Shashank. It's an honor to be on a show with you, to give a message to wider audience. I hope at least some people would benefit it.
For sure. Till then, bye-bye.